Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you about black tourmaline and its constantly evolving energies. So, black tourmaline is among several other crystals that is evolving in vibration. It's evolving in strength, it's evolving in power. You hear very often that the vibration of the earth is raising. Now what does that mean? I've made a whole video about it. You can check out that video. It basically says that the vibration of the planet's going upwards, and the crystals in the ground are also going up with the planet, as well as people are going up with the planet's vibration, utilizing the energy of crystals. It's not absolutely necessary, but it does make things much easier. You can use your energy to get yourself ahead, or you can actually use crystals that are just energy, and they'll help you get ahead completely, just regardless. Now with black tourmaline, a lot of people have gotten black tourmaline from me, and I'm learning a lot about people's experiences, what they expect when they get it, versus what happens 6 months down the line after they keep wearing it. And people see tremendous life changes. I have a black tourmaline necklace on my website for $777. If anything ever happens to it, I repair it for free. It's literally warrior armor. It's the biggest life changer you can ever have, even for people who don't believe in spirituality at all, which I highly discourage someone get a crystal if they don't believe in anything. Black tourmaline is very eye-opening, but people who want to block 5G, people who want to block electromagnetic radiation and not get hurt from the side effects of it, will get black tourmaline from me as a necklace as well. In the past, I have taught about how the bracelet is strong, yes, but I've learned from hundreds of people who have gotten black tourmaline from me that the necklace doesn't compare at all to the bracelet, especially certain family members that I've helped. I've gotten people a bracelet, 2 bracelets, 3 bracelets, 4 bracelets, and they're wearing bracelets, but nothing. I mean, it's some things here and there are changing, but it's not hole punching, it's not veil punching. But upon that person getting a black tourmaline necklace, everything just changes. And I really thought about that. I'm like, why is that? Well, you can cut off someone's hand, and they're going to be, well, I'm not going to say they're going to be fine. It's going to hurt, and they're going to be feeling like a phantom limb syndrome. But when you cut off someone's hand, they'll survive. Like, they're going to comfortably survive. I mean, they'll get used to not having a hand. You cut off the other hand, 2 hands, okay, now you don't have both hands. You can cut off both arms. You're going to survive. You're going to operate. Operate a little differently, yeah. But you cut off the head, you're not going to be alive. You're not going to live. The body does not operate without the head. When people are doing hexes, black magic, curses, etc., when people are just doing anything, sending you hatred and negative energy, they're sending it to your head. Kings and queens back then knew this, so that's why they protected themselves with crowns of crystals, because the head's the most important. That's why they cryogenically freeze certain people's heads, is because they believe that's the most important part about the person, is their brain. It's because, same thing with the crown chakra, it's one of the most important chakras, because if your crown chakra is under attack, you're under attack, everything seems crazy and foggy, and you can't really operate, so the rest of the body doesn't really matter if your head's not doing well. You're going to be lost. Your body's lost without a head. Upon wearing necklaces, they cover the most important chakras, which is the upper chakras, the heart chakra. And when I say most important chakras, it's the ones that are very vital to you functioning, surviving, and living happily, and just being at peace. So the heart chakra, the throat chakra, well, there's 2. There's a bridge chakra between the heart and the throat, and then there's the there's the throat chakra, and then the upper chakras. Your third eye is when it's not connected, when it's not protected, when it's blocked. You're gonna have no intuition. Things will just go crazy. Same thing with the crown chakra. You'll feel completely lost. But black tourmaline, it really blocks off people's negative energy. It's the biggest life changer you can ever have. So that's why it's so much stronger when you wear it as a necklace. And you can see reviews and testimonies online on my website, floridastoneman.com. But I'm going to talk to you today specifically about some of what I've really been seeing with people who get black tourmaline from me. Now, it's a very life-changing necklace. Yes. I don't tell everyone something they're supposed to expect when they get a necklace from me. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to say to someone, okay, this is going to change. I'll give them a general idea. I'll be like, okay, everything's going to change. It's life-changing. You're going to see the biggest life changes you've ever had in your entire life. But you tell me your story. I'm not going to tell you what you're supposed to tell me, because that actually helps you. It helps open your eyes, and it helps me because I'm seeing new perspectives on what the stone is actually doing. Because constantly crystals are evolving in vibration. But with different people in different circumstances. You get to learn so many different viewpoints, because I'm one person. If I give, if someone buys Black Tourmaline from me, and they tell me their story, okay, I'll add that to the collective. Then, so far I've had lots and lots of people get Black Tourmaline from me as a necklace, and lots of people have had their lives changed. If the person's genuinely a good person, and they're on the track to doing right, then the Tourmaline necklace will work out for them, and it'll make the biggest life changes they've ever seen from any other crystal. It's bigger. The Black Tourmaline has a bigger, life-changing, positive impact than Moldavite. Moldavite doesn't compare to Black Tourmaline. I'll tell you that right now, coming from someone who wore Moldavite very often. You can see it in my older videos. It's just a dark... I mean, my Moldavite is disguised very well. But one thing I've been learning about Black Tourmaline is it's... And remember how I said in a few videos ago, the crystals are constantly evolving in vibration? Yeah, they are. Now, one thing that's really cool is I thought a while ago... that's not Black Tourmaline. I have Black Tourmaline everywhere. I'm not even sure what was... Okay. Whatever. Some Black Tourmaline... I have this stuff everywhere. Everywhere. Even if I'm not wearing it, it's everywhere. Some Black Tourmaline. Let's see if we can find a piece of mica in this one. Because I guess this one doesn't have mica. Well, a little bit. Just... I don't know if you guys can see it. But certain Black Tourmaline have sparkly, reflective sides to them. And certain Black Tourmaline doesn't have any reflective, like mirrors in it. If you know anything about mirrors spiritually, especially with crystals like pyrite, they have other dimensional energy that reflects back people's hatred, black magic, bad intent, everything to that nature. So I haven't really been teaching about Black Tourmaline being a return to center stone, because the Black Tourmaline would have to have mica, right? But you got to keep in mind with return to sender crystals, it's not just returning to sender. They all have their own different mechanism of returning energy to people who send it. So how is that? Mexican fire agate it does it by fire. So I always talk about Mexican fire agate because it's the most powerful crystal at sending back negative energy. It literally breathes fire. It's the spiritual equivalent of someone who tries, anyone, not just someone, any single person who does bad with you. It's kind of like you take oil, their own oil that they try to throw at you, it dumps on them and you set them on fire, and it doesn't stop burning until the person becomes a good person. Sometimes it takes a long time for someone to become a good person. Sometimes it takes them apologizing to everyone who's ever cursed or showing up at their door. And that's just the energy of Mexican fire agate, because it's literally fire agate. It has the energy of real fire in it. And when things are passed through fire, they're transformed. Lava's a return to sender crystal. Talked about this before. How is it that? It's because lava contains all the elements. You only need one element or two elements, let alone you have all the elements, because this is the blood of Mother Nature. It returns negative energy to the sender by devouring it, chewing it up, spitting it out, and running over it. If you don't believe it, you can see lava come out of a volcano, and anything in its path, it just chews up, spits out, and makes new land. It runs over and burns anything in its way that's not helping it grow or not helping it expand. And then it makes new territory, so it doesn't even remember any old land, or any enemies, any friends. When you're wearing lava, that energy just runs over them. Anyone who's trying to backstab you or do anything bad with you, if they're good, then they're going to stay around. If they're bad, they're going to be transformed and ran over. Not by a car, but by their own energy being sent back towards them. That's just lava's energy. Lapis lazuli is a return to sender crystal, but how is that? Because it has power of the throat chakra. It governs the blue flame, which is the St. Michael the Archangel flame back here. And it has some lapis lazuli has reflective pyrite in it, right? Reflective mirrors in it. Cool, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is what you have to realize. Every single return to sender stone sends it back very differently. So lapis lazuli, since it governs the blue flame, its haint blue color sends it back. It has its own other dimensional properties regarding that color, or cobalt blue, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. Color's a color. It belongs to the throat chakra. That crystal's energy really helps you. I don't know. This is not it, but kinda. No. This is it. This is lapis lazuli right here. This is lapis lazuli. This is darker lapis lazuli because I like darker lapis lazuli myself. But lapis lazuli returns negative energy to the sender by passing the energy off to your guides and reflecting it back. So all these crystals have different return to sender energies. If you use obsidian correctly, it can be a return to sender stone, but you really have to master your own energies about obsidian. So if you're using obsidian and you're working on your shadow self, but you haven't fully mastered it and you haven't fully got past it, you're gonna struggle with the obsidian's energy because it's so intense and overwhelming. How does it return negative energy to the sender? Similar to lava, but it does it much faster and much more viciously and sharply, so it can literally spike back someone's energy. Now, there's a whole bunch of other return to sender crystals, ones that you wouldn't ever expect to be return to sender crystals, like Spectralite is, where is it? Spectralite, let me show you the guys the flash. Spectralite, which is flashy labradorite, returns negative energy to the sender because it's a mirror, and it embodies a certain color blue, and it sends it back. Now, it's kind of like a flash, so when people look at me, and they usually look at the labradorite, people, just by looking at me with labradorite on, it literally sends back all the negative energy alone, just because it's reflective and it holds a certain tone of blue. Not many people know that, but that's why when I go out in public, certain people will just stay quiet if they don't like, if they have some kind of problem. It's because their own negative energy just goes bouncing back to them. Moonstone can reflect negative energy. I can go through a bunch of crystals that send negative energy back. What else? Sometimes, okay, I'm going to explain how black tourmaline sends back negative energy, because I'm just getting you guys into the spiritual, scientific details of it. So, if you haven't caught on, negative energy is not that hard to send back. If you're doing 100% right, most likely, your guides are going to send back the negative energy anyway. A little bit might hit you if you don't have crystals, and you might feel it throughout your day, and you're like, okay, I think I need to do more protecting. So you can have 100% of it sent back when you're doing it correctly with a crystal such as Mexican Fire Agate, which is a return to sender crystal. This is going to get interesting soon. Even more interesting, because this is interesting. This is just because I already know the details. I know this information. Not many people know it, so when I say it, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, this is just like, it's going through the textbook. It's like, yep, of course this crystal returns to sender. Of course this crystal returns to sender. Of course this crystal returns to sender. And no one else really knows that, so I'm going to keep restating it, because the knowledge for me about crystals is very common, but to most people, they'll never know it or never find out. So I teach crystal information that's not available online. Yeah. So negative energy on its own can be sent back very easily. You can use your own energy, but don't you want to be using your own energy on other things? Like you want to go to the beach, you want to chill out, and you're using your own energy bending back negative people's intentions and evil eye and curses and hatred and energy. Yeah, you shouldn't have to be doing that. You can use your energy for anything else. Preserve your energy. Everyone wants to use their own energy to fight negative energy. Why would you do that when there's a tool for that? Why would you build a TV if you could just buy one for less? Don't make your life hard. Make it nice and easy. Don't waste your time either. People like to go the long route because it entertains them. But if you want to be entertained, then don't take the efficient route, which is just use crystals. They're a lot easier. You don't have to use your own negative energy. You don't have to use your own energy to counter negative energy. So let's get into it right now. This is very, very cool, but negative energy is very easily sent. How does black tourmaline send back negative energy? Because people have been telling me, sir, anyone who's been trying them with just black tourmaline and the clear quartz that I have in the necklace, all the negative energy has been going back. It's not one person, it's not two people, it's not three people, it's tens of people who are getting black tourmaline as a necklace from me, and they're seeing negative energy go back to the people who have sent it. So when people send negative energy, their guides will send it back. So that person learns. If that person is doing black magics and evil eye, sometimes their own angel, when that person throws an energetic grenade, their own angel will be like, nope, you have to learn from your own energy. Don't do that. That's not cool. Don't put out ill intent. What's wrong with you? And the person's own energy will hit them. That's why I call it a rocket ship that doesn't really get off the ground. It just falls back and hits the person. It's kind of like a grenade pin they pull and they go to throw it, and their guys just like, nope, not today, and hits the ground. They'll do it a bunch of times until their guides kind of just step back, which is never good, and then they'll send off negative energy to someone, and it's them, but it still goes back to them because of the karmic cycle, which karma is very real. If you don't believe karma is real, then you have a lot to learn. There's different words for karma. It's a concept, but etc. What you put out is what you get back. Everyone's just a mirror image of yourself. especially for people who do curses or do hexes. They'll try to do a cleanse afterwards. I see people on Witch Talk or YouTube who, like, they're wondering why their life is going so bad. They think everyone else is cursing them when they're literally cursing themselves. When you do some kind of magic like that, you're calling an energy on yourself to push out onto someone else. And these people are cursing other people, and they're getting hit so hard by their own curse that normally their own guides who love and care about them will send back so they actually learn. Until their guides step away, and then things just get much worse. Now with Black Tourmaline, how is it a return to Ascender Crystal? Because I've been talking about this the whole video. If you don't get the philosophy, then you won't understand how Black Tourmaline is a return to Ascender Crystal. Because it's very important. I never thought that Black Tourmaline is something I would say as a return to Ascender Crystal, but from all my conclusions, from all the people I've been helping, here's how it works as a return to Ascender Crystal, because it's very specific. It puts up, and I should say this right now, it only works as a return to Ascender Crystal if you're 100% cleansing and charging it daily. Because Black Tourmaline has two sides to it, the barrier and the absorber, the sponge. So it puts out a very fierce barrier, like it casts out a barrier. And then anything that gets through the barrier, it sponges. If it hits your energetic field, it goes into if the negative energy, the evil eye goes into your body, which that's a thing, you have chakras in your body. If it goes into your chakra and it starts to affect the chakra, it pulls it out into the tourmaline to be released. So that's why you need to cleanse and charge it fully. Now, if you're cleansing and charging 100% so it doesn't have to do too much work, it's literally acting like a black wall. If you see this crystal, it's putting out 100,000 little fibers just going straight across. It's like, yep, you're not getting through. So what happens when someone goes to drive into you and there's a wall up? Can you guess? They hit the wall and they hit all the damage that they did from driving into your wall. The wall might come down a little bit, then you cleanse and charge it, and then it's back up again. Same thing with Black Tourmaline. It has a return to sender energy based on its wall and barrier-like effect. If you don't believe that, Black Tourmaline is strong enough to block EMF off, and it's strong enough to block EMF off. It blocks enemy missile fire and electric magnetic frequencies. Now, Black Tourmaline will work for you as a return to sender crystal, even more so if you put agrimony on it, which is a return to sender herb. So you'll have the double effect of Black Tourmaline sending back negative energy, plus agrimony is an herb that sends back negative energy very heavily and strongly. It's really cool. If you feel like you've been cursed for so long and nothing can get off of you, no negative energy can leave you, use rue and agrimony. That's a wonderful combination. Ruda. Just use a little bit of the Ruda because it's strong, very strong. You can use it as an essential oil for both of them, or just extract as both of them. It doesn't matter. You can wash your necklace with tea of agrimony and rue. But this video is all here to tell you about. Black Tourmaline works as a return to sender crystal, because all return to sender crystals it sends negative energy sent to you back in different ways. So Black Tourmaline is literally an oppressing wall, which this actually transcends into other crystals as well. Bloodstone's a good return to sender crystal because it has oppressive wall energy. It's literally it's a spiritual battering ram. And Bloodstone has a fire-water element about it, which means that it has a heavy fire energies about it, but it's very calm and water-like, and it's fluid as well. It helps the emotions. It helps several different things. It's good for luck and wealth and abundance too, but Black Tourmaline is a protective return to sender crystal, even without mica, because if you cleanse and charge it 100%, it has oppressing energies to negative energy. Like, it literally, the wall is so strong that when someone throws something, it's just going to fall back and hit them because the wall's so tall and so strong. Another way I can describe this is when the person literally conjures up this energy and sends it off. It could be a curse, a hex, an evil eye, hatred, ill intent. They don't like you. It doesn't matter what kind of negative energy. They have to bring it about from their own soul and send it off to you. When you have the Black Tourmaline up, it hits the wall, and it's rejected, so it goes back to where it came just because it needs somewhere to go. Energy doesn't just die off. Energy is never... You can't destroy energy, and you can't create energy like that. So it's basically energy can neither be created or destroyed. So the energy that person sends, it makes its way back to them. Sometimes immediately, sometimes it takes a little time. But the people who bother you with Black Tourmaline on, they're going to feel it. Most likely they'll get a headache. It's very common. The first thing that'll happen is the person will normally get a headache when they send you negative energy with Black Tourmaline. It'll beat against them. Like the energies will literally, their own energy will beat against the black tourmaline and go straight back to them. So they'll feel like they're getting a headache because they're sending you negative energy so that you get a headache. A bunch of stuff, bad stuff will happen to them just because it's their own energy and they're sending you bad energy, so they're sending you energy that's supposed to hurt you, but it's hurting them. So a lot of you have told me after the spiritual effects after you get black tourmaline from me is your enemies disappear from, they get into accidents, they get kicked out, they get just something, so much bad energy that they put off literally doesn't make it to you, and it just goes back to them and they have to sit with their own energy. And like I said in the grenade analogy, they pull off a grenade and all the grenades just explode because it has nowhere to go and they have nowhere to throw it. It's pretty simple. So yeah, now I'm calling black tourmaline, even without mica, a return to sender energy crystal based on how it works. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Crystals, they get more and more interesting as you take time to study about them. I literally study crystals from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. So if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!